Meets, it's EKG. Welcome to my channel. Today I have an exciting video where I will be recommending books that you should read if you enjoy listening to SZA, the Queen. I have Good Days on repeat as we're speaking. So if you want to see which books I recommend you read, if you enjoy SZA, if you like her music, if you like her style, if you like her creativity, you can just keep on watching. So first I'll start off with the fiction book, and I'm gonna recommend Lester by Raven Leilani. This book is essentially a SZA song. It reminds me of Control a lot, like the entire album, specifically Drew Barrymore or Broken Clocks too. So if you like any of these songs, you would like this book a lot. Lester is basically following a woman named Eddie who becomes involved in a entanglement, but that's just the side. I guess it's kind of like The Weeknd too. But basically, Lester features the story of a 20-something who is in a city where she's on the come up of becoming an artist, but she's facing these insecurities that prevent her from creating art. So I think that also applies to SZA because she talks a lot about working in the strip club and wanting to make songs and produce music and sing. So I feel like Lester is a great example of how a young woman, a young Black woman specifically, in her 20-somethings is trying to find her way in a world where the odds seem stacked against her, and she's aware of that, and she has these insecurities around that, and it affects her love life, and it affects how she views herself, the relationships that she has with her family members. And yeah, I think Lester is a really great read. Definitely is the combination of The Weeknd, even Child's Play, I would even say, like if we're gonna take it back to Z, like, you know, so I feel like Lester is a really great novel. So pick up Lester. The next collection of essays that I think SZA would really enjoy, and you would enjoy too if you like listening to her, is Thick and Other Essays. And this is just a collection of essays that details the Black women experience, beauty standards, which, oh my God, Drew Barrymore on Control is all about beauty standards in the media and like what it means to have beauty as a Black woman. I think you would thoroughly enjoy this collection if you are interested in media and consumption. I think SZA tackles this a lot too, especially on her like TDE collabs with like Kendrick Lamar. So I feel as though this essay collection would definitely fit into that realm. Specific, she talks about in the first essay the connection that she has with her mother, and I think that is a strong theme throughout SZA's album Control, like matriarchal figures and how they've influenced her own life and her perception of beauty and what it means to love. If you don't read the entire collection of essays, definitely read the first collection, Thick, and then the next one I think that really speaks to SZA is In the Name of Beauty, which is an essay that focuses on, as I was saying before, what it means to be beautiful in a society where there's a certain standard that everyone has to fit. And I think SZA goes against that standard in some of her songs like Drew Barrymore. So definitely check out Thick and Other Essays, but in specific, Thick, the essay, in the Name of Beauty. So a book that really captures SZA's wistfulness for youth, as well as what it means to find yourself and your purpose and living within that, would be The Alchemist. I mean, I think I could recommend this book no matter what the circumstances are. Basically, this follows a shepherd boy, Santiago. You're probably all familiar with this by now, but the reason why I think The Alchemist would be a good read if you are an admirer of SZA and her music. Specifically, I'm thinking of Good Days, which is a song that I've had on repeat for a minute now. The Alchemist story just reminds me of that. It reminds me of the beauty of being lost and the beauty of feel like you're losing time or that you're running out of time. And within The Alchemist, main character goes on the journey of discovering himself, and I feel like that's SZA's entire music is self-discovery, whether that be in love, in relationships, in her career, within herself. So definitely check out The Alchemist. So the next collection of stories that I would recommend is Heads of the Colored People. And this collection I read 2 years ago, and it literally is still sticking with me. And I think if you don't want to read the entire collection of short stories, I would definitely recommend. There is a story in here about the Black woman body, and it goes into detail about how Black women have to find comfort in their body, and that experience is not always a pleasant one. This collection of short stories literally was mind-blowing, and specifically what it means to be a Black woman, which is what SZA explores a lot. She explores her sexuality, she explores love and the complications of love in an age of media and social media. So this has a couple of short stories within it that focus entirely on that, which I think would be fun to read. And yeah, I mean, I cannot rave about this collection of short stories enough. It is time for me to reread them. So I have a memoir, which I feel is very fun and great, and I love so much. And that is The Terrible by SZA daley-ward. Kind of echoes a lot of what SZA goes through in her own music and from what I've read. But basically, SZA daley-ward talks about being lost. Like, that is a big theme in this collection, being lost and being afraid of the unknown. But SZA daley-ward ties in that fear in a great way towards the end of the novel. Some closure to it, which I feel like SZA gives in her music, but she also gives off the effect that we are all just still wandering and trying to find our purpose in our life, and not everything in life is beautiful and easy. There are tragic things that happen, and there are things that literally break our hearts, but there's beauty in that, and I feel like The Terrible highlights that very well. This would not be an EKG video if I did not recommend a poetry collection to you at any point. So, the poetry collection, Sweet Dark. Now, if poetry is not your jam, I understand. It's not everyone's cup of tea, you know, but it's my cup of tea. It's made perfectly for me. And Savannah Brown does an amazing job of asking the philosophical questions of life, and she uses the lens of the natural world that is happening around us, the universe, and the mundane moments that we take for granted as humans. In specific, there is a poem in here called The 10-Minute Walk Home from the Bus Stop, and I feel like that is something that SZA does well in her songwriting, which is why I'm a stan, because SZA's songwriting is immaculate. She has so many references to the Bible and like the universe and all these occurrences. So read Sweet Dark for sure. If you love poetry and you listen to SZA, you would love this 100%. So I just recently read this over the weekend, and I loved every single second of it. And it's very lyrical, and it's still accessible. So yeah, definitely check this out. That concludes the video of me recommending books that you should listen to if you love listening to SZA. Comment what other artists, singers, rappers, songwriters that you want me to do next. I love these types of videos. I've been watching a few of them from other channels like Jack Edwards and Uncarly, so I was inspired by them to create this video highlighting SZA. So I have a couple more people planned, and I'm really excited. And yeah, also let me know what your favorite SZA song is down below if you're a stan like me, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!